FaZe, even Vitality down on this map recently, and they're looking to add another scalp to the tally. It's NIP, the Swedes, a map up in the series, Inferno being our third if needed, but NIP, they want to take away Nuke, and they at least get that CT side start.
He had a fast A play here, looking to be the order of the day. They blow open the door, they flood on in, but do keep your eye on NIP, who are crunching through the ramp room into the lobby right now. Dupree catches wind of that as he goes back to check the flank. Now, trades go left and right, but the flashes are good. And that allows Magis to double up, deals with all three players on this flank. And now, blinking, you've missed it. It's all on to Twist.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, that's a great pistol for Astralis. And then they realize as well, with NIP setting up for a retake on that A site, we have seen teams get away with that recently, but Astralis make the read and they react very effectively. Taking A, going, oh, wait, no one's here. We got the bomb down for free. They've got to be flanking. They've got to be coming in from ramp. And Dupree just turns around, takes a kill. Magis doubles it as well. And that's an Astralis round through and through. NIP was setting up for a retake, but they needed the lobby in order to do that. And Astralis did not grant them that control. So round win, pistol going their way, and now the buy behind it. NIP are forcing up. Scout on Norg. Pistols on the rest. Unsurprisingly, Astralis going outside. It's the safest way to play these anti-ecos. Avoid the close range of many of the pistols that could be in play. I mean, it's full deags for NIP at least, which are good at range, but Astralis with AKs are more than favored. That Scout at least starts off with some damage.
Oh, but it's immediately cancelled out by Mr. Dupree as he brings three to their knees. Now looking to try and wrap up here into heaven. There is Plopsky still floating around down in hell, but Dupree getting up here, securing this foothold into the heavens. It's going to make life very, very hard for Plopsky in this situation here and now. He starts to consider the possibility that someone could have slipped by, seeing as Dupree has seemingly vanished, and Plopsky there gets the info that he resides up in heaven. Plopsky has caught himself a very nice timing here to worm his way up close to main and could come in on a fast flank that maybe Astralis aren't ready for, but they certainly seem ready. They've got two crosshairs aimed in at main. Dupree now, his role rotates away from having to secure map control. Instead, now he just has to lock it down, and he sits up in heaven. Him and Plopsky destined to never meet each other by the looks of things. Both times now, they've just missed each other's by a hair's length, it feels like. And Plopsky will at least get away to hold on to this Deeg and armor. Lecro saving a UMP as well. But Astralis going to find that conversion and go 2-0 up to begin Nuke.
Yeah, Dupree is looking far better already in this game. It's such a positive for Astralis. As said earlier, 1-7 in opening duels on Vertigo. Not what we're used to seeing from Dupree, but not only does he find the first in the pistol, he finds the first three in the second. Really nice shots. Those key AKs for Astralis, only 2 of them in that round, but now they are armed to the teeth. And NIP, quite the opposite, in fact. They have got nothing to play with. And I'm going to have to continue taking this eco until Astralis go 3-0 up. Smokes. And more outside control is the name of the game for Astralis. I mean, it's their bread and butter on Nuke, so won't be the first nor the last time we're going to see this. NIP have set up accordingly, hoping Astralis come lower in the secret, but these Danes have found themselves in the garage, and that's going to give them a lot of room towards a top site. 4 players and lower. Astralis aren't falling for it either. Glaive is just holding onto the stairs down in that position as the rest of Astralis set up towards heaven. So Glaive can keep these players occupied, sell the fake out on B, while the rest of the team group up towards A with only Lecro to stop them. Here's a kit. So that's a factor here for NIP if they make this round close. But right now, it is anything but.
Not just yet, Hugo. Not just yet.
Ooh. Ew, that'll prompt the swing. Rez spotted. There's more down in that vent. Zipnix, is he going to be ready for the like clown car of vents, right? Just like, so many players down there ready to come out. And he's going to go about finding them in a very different way. Instead, looks to clear secret, and one by one, they will tumble. Astralis keep this round flawless. Maybe Nuke can upset that kind of natural order, but no, Astralis 3-0. And now this investment coming in for the Swedes. It will feature an AWP, one of them at the very, very least here in this round. That's going to get picked up by Twist. He saved extra money so that he could bring that out. Still has armor, still has utility behind it. That's a nice little extra to bring in to your first rifle round.
And here it is, the first rifle round. So let's see where this AWP goes for NIP. Twist is sat outside. Astralis are going to be meeting him in this position, and he waits for the red cross, smokes it down on the fly for Astralis. They keep it fast, and they get down towards lower. I love this. Straight into the first rifle round. After, going outside, but not dropping B. The second NIP are armed, that's when Astralis hit it fast, and they don't give NIP time to react or rotate or even get a kill. Magist dropping Plopsky down on B. Twisters are coming on that rotation from Hell side, but good luck seeing anything through these smokes. They even jump across. He can't hit the second shot, and the grenade will keep him back. NIP might even just save, especially after that kill. I love it from Glaive.
Yeah, you wanted to hold on to that AWP as something, as a saving grace into the next round, but well, they make sure that's not the case. Device and company are going to regress, retake control of this ramp room as to give a means of an exit here for Astralis. A safe one, that is. And we see Astralis go up 4. Now, we kind of figured that, Astralis, there's this team, and they seem to be pretty good at the map of Nuke.
Yeah, some say.
Some do say that.
Yeah, I think NIP are just going to have such a tough time on this CT side, right? Like, no matter how good your rotations are, even if you know where you're going, Astralis just individually excellent players on this map. And as shown in the previous round, a very deep pool as well. They have a lot to fall back on. We've only seen them push outside in this game, and they're 4-0 up. So that's just an idea as to how things are going.
Not ideal.
No.
But either way, here are those weapons. Scout on Twist. What's he going to do with it? What can he do with it? Better question. Knock and Lekro here. Looking to hold the Squeaky and Hut side of the upper site. But it's Astralis 3 deep outside. And just Zipex pressuring towards the radio room and ramp. Now they go 4 deep. Device finds an AWP kill. That Twist with that Scout. No one's going to be shouting. But they will certainly here in a second if they don't clear Knock. He is set up in a pretty prime location, a little bit of an off angle. Spots all 3 and considerable damage done, but it only counts if you get the K.
Yeah, nothing providing itself here. Astralis just instantly hit that B site after finding the entry, and Glaive's already trying to cut off the rotations. Plopsky holds his own. He's stalled the bomb out for a little bit here for Astralis. They should focus on fights before they focus on the plant, but that kill will enable the bomb to go down. Glaive, oh dear, close position. Looking like he wanted to push the issue as well. Utility's going to hold NIP out for the time being, but Astralis is still yet to get this bomb back under control. That smoke's going to fade, and now NIP's lines of sight are opened once again. If they can get this bomb back and maybe take it up, and that could be a chance, but they're just going to stick it. Ray shooting right above the head of Magist, can't stop the plant, and it might be another save here for NIP.
Yeah, with even less weapons this time, Harry.
Yeah, it's a pretty worrying start for an IP, right? Like, they're able to get away with these two weapons now, as you say, Trace, but they're in a position where, like, they can get a buy together in this round coming up, but it's whether or not you want to, right? Like, Plopsky's going to have some money, Rez is going to be able to drop one over, you could bring 4 rifles out, and you would have something, but whether or not it's enough to beat a very convincing-looking Astralis here on their home turf, that's another matter.
Whole different ball game, some would even say. It's like cricket versus baseball. We all know baseball is probably a little harder, probably a little better.
Yeah, so look, right, they've gone for the investment, and I think it's very, very justifiable because they've got pretty much everything they need, including the AWP on Twist. That's thanks to Rez having some extra money. He was able to drop that one into play.
just look at how much Astralis are pounding outside right now. They've been doing it all game. And once again, bomb and 3 with the orbs set towards the yard. Now, they don't go there early. NIP, as a result, they haven't seen much, and they can't adjust the setup until they get that information. Astralis are taking their time before they give it away. Twist has been playing the same angle round after round, lining up with something on the floor to get in this off position, hoping Astralis don't check it, but the smoke is down and the flash to follow. He will be pushed back. Try and flash another fight. He's got a teammate in the garage who could go wide as well, but Twist will get the first job done. Nuke traded from inside said garage, and Device has lost the bomb outside. That's something for Twist. He can try and play for it. Oh, he even predicts Device above as well. It's a second kill for Twist. Ramp going to be cleaned up. And NIP maybe on the way to their first.
Starting to feel like it, at least. Glaive, well, they're going to drop this Molotov into hell. It's going to force Twist out, but it makes him in the open here. Glaive knows that. Glaive knows he's trying to get out of that situation, and Twist falls. Now in a 2v3, Dupree very low, but for what it's worth, with the bomb down, they only have 30 seconds to decide where they're going to go, and then ultimately get there and get the bomb planted, but it doesn't seem to be the case. There's never a world where Dupree flicked to hit that. Now Glaive will try his luck. No time left.
Oh yeah, Lecro playing this smart, right? Knows that time is of the essence. Glaive still is able to put that kill up on the board and will just about get this bomb down, but whether or not he's going to survive, because Plopsky set up at ramp, will deal with him. They can go back, retrieve the AWPs as well, take him with them. We're going to see Rez delay the defuse so that that can happen. Plopsky retrieves that AWP, and NIP put their first on the board here in round number 6. But in these 5 rounds that Astralis have managed to put on the board thus far, they haven't really faced much resistance. So they've actually got too much money over here on this T side right now. They're going to reinvest, no problem. On an AWP in sight. For Astralis, at least. And that's because, you know, these kind of faster rounds have been lending themselves really well to Astralis. Anyway, having Device not picking up the AWP T-side nuke is something that we do see every now and again. So,
I mean, no
yeah,
need,
pretty
right?
expected.
5-1, like, you know, you're not feeling the pressure or anything. Twist did find a couple of kills in the last, but, you know, you can just avoid them. Go back to those wall of smokes outside and drop B.
They end up dumping 4 out here. Twist going to respond with the grenade towards red, potentially catching some Astralis players who have crossed and look to get into secret, but no one's home. Everybody's still on 100 HP.
I love this as well because NIP, they don't know. They have no idea. They can only guess as to how many players, if any, have crossed outside. The smokes are faded. Nuke looks, it's clear. Guys, yard's empty. But B isn't. Astralis have crept down below. Rez is waiting. Going to get this info eventually. The Molotov showing that Astralis are indeed here, and Rez has been spotted as well. Needs to be careful with the reface. Glaive is in front of the flashbang, and it won't affect him. He gets the kill. Astralis get lower once again, and these rotates for NIP are too late, and they're all predictable as well. Coming from the ramp room, as they often do, Astralis nowhere to look. His hit next though doesn't. Looks away as Lecro comes into the hut. Bomb getting planted. The spray, not enough for Plopsky, just a little bit above the planter. Again, Magisk is dodging bullets like Neo, and it's going to be a bomb plant for Astralis with smokes coming down to the ramp. This retake is already starting to get shut out. Lecro dropped a player on the flank. If he goes as well, this will be a guaranteed Astralis round, but they won't look to force the fight. Ooh.
Nice flick from Nuke, but not able to deliver a second time around. And this is just going to be another save call for NIP, as hard as it is to make. This 2 versus 3 is a round that's not going to happen for them. And a real masterclass thus far from Astralis. You see why Nuke is such a good map for them. They feel right at home here. Completely different look to Vertigo. And NIP thus far haven't really been up to the task of challenging it. Now, reinvestment coming back in, but it's looking like it's only a partial buy here around these saved weapons for the NIP squad.
Yeah, I believe the last time that we've seen NIP play on this map was against Vitality. 16-12, it goes in the way of NIP. And it's Nuke that's carrying the torch there. 1 frag over Zywoo.
Yeah, that ain't bad. But right now,
Yeah, that's not
This
the
ain't
case.
Vitality. You know, this is Astralis. We're on another level here. And Magiski's going to try and run the gauntlet outside. He has made quick work of an example made by Popsky. Twist is trying to cover his teammate who's getting molly. But actually, that fire won't spread. Popsky can still stay behind the boxes. And with 2 players here, an IP ready for Astralis to swing. There's not smokes being thrown just yet for the cross, but an AWP is looking to take the fight. Twist, oh, missed shot. Device is going to be able to get towards the garage with the cross. Lecro's found a kill off the Deagle somehow, and these pistols are proving to be a little more versatile than maybe Astralis expected. The bomb in main through a smoke, that is not what Glaive had in mind, surely. And Popsky's going to follow up on Device in the garage as well. This has fallen apart for Astralis, and there's only 1 man left. Make that no men, and IP back on the board with a second.
Yeah, but they haven't been able to do better than these little one-and-done rounds thus far on the Nips side.
Hey, Harry, you're supposed to be the Nip supporter here. Don't say that.
Yeah, let's not try to sway the votes now, Harry.
Wait,
Against your prediction.
yeah, man, you know, these Nip guys, yeah, I've always said, you know, like, they just don't have what it takes. No, like, I mean, you know, that is just
I mean, we both predicted Astralis to win this map anyway,
No, we
right?
didn't. This is just
wait,
the
what? You
objective
did?
truth. The NIP, they've struggled to chain together rounds thus far.
I thought you predicted Astralis to win this map. You said it was going to be 3.
I didn't say any of that.
Oh, that's what Trey said earlier.
Yeah, well, Trace, you know, he says things and I say things. And sometimes they're the right things, sometimes they're just things. And well,
Sometimes may be good.
Speaking of things, how about a little bit of report here? As of 6 minutes ago, sources say I'm a pet set to join 100 Thieves as CSGO coach. We'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, though, dealing with EU, and it's Lecro that's dealt with Glaive, leaving us in a 4v4.
Yeah, Astralis are lower once again, but this time the rotations are here ahead of time, and that's been the biggest problem for NIP, right? Getting into B and getting stuck at the ramp room, not being able to get through that choke because Astralis' utility that will once again be raining down. Lecro's got a timing. He's beat the player outside that is Zipnix down to B, but I think that was commed. I think it was spotted. Devices dropped him. Plopsky with 1 before the trade from Dupe out the window. Device has dropped another outside as well in the secret area. It's going to be Nuke just on his own, coming through a smoke. I like the play. Surely not what Astralis will expect. And oh, he can drop the bomb here as well. There's an AWP swinging, and Nuke's got a second as well. Bomb at his feet, 20 seconds, and he's got to work out where Zipnix is yet to get a kill. They don't know. They have no clue. And he's just going to play for that audio, play for that sound, wait for the bomb to be picked off the ground, and Nuke will find the round for NIP. 3 kills, 3 rounds, and the AWP saved as well.
Big knock, knocking him down. He stops the plant, wins the round. Good stuff there from the young gun. I actually had the opportunity to catch up with him and kind of chat a little bit there at the DreamHack Masters Malmö. Don't want to say that wrong. Someone will jump all over you. Imagine we have a lot of Swedes watching right now. So anyway, good guy, full of combo, and I think he was really just waiting for his chance to shine within Swedish Counter-Strike, because for the longest time, Swedish Counter-Strike was at kind of a deadlock, if you will, of just recycling players over and over and over.
yeah, and you know, that's been the case now for most like regions, right? Like you realize you can't just keep feeding off of the same talents. You know, the same 5 players aren't going to be around forever. And I think that's why we've seen a lot of these organizations pushing for you know, ways for kind of
academy teams.
Yeah, you know, and just to help the scene grow, right? Like, and this Snip squad is like a real testament to that. Like, these guys were all players who were swapped in as like interchangeable pieces within this Snip team and the Fnatic squads of old. And now having a chance to show what they've got, joined together, banded up, and looking real good. And that's where, you know, I think that a guy like Hunden, for example, moving into a coaching role is a perfect move, because he is the kind of coach who I think can foster and bring up young talent. You know, we're talking about the Scandinavian regions. That's why it kind of makes sense to name him as someone.
Well, too, you think about it, and while his statistics are not going to tell you he was actually, in fact, God Hunden, this is a guy that still demands a lot of respect and has it in him to sort of build an infrastructure from the bottom up. So
yeah, coach is where many people have been wanting to see him for a while anyway, right? Like, you know, being able to still use that knowledge without necessarily having to frag, which can be the harder part.
It's a very interesting conversation. It's one that we'll revisit in just a moment, because in this round, Astralis, you know, they've been very, very patient. They get a man down through secret, and this is just Glaive selling this fake that once again a player is coming in down towards the lower site. Now, they were hoping he could have gotten into the vent, and that's not the case. The rest of Astralis now explode into this bomb site. They try and send Zipnix down, and he does go down in more senses than one. There's the cleanup, the AWP of Twist, finding a double, and NIP onto a 4th round. But yeah, no, back to this like coach conversation. Go on.
I just want to make a point about that round. Astralis, think about all the rounds they've been going behind those smokes outside to B with like 4 players, right? That they've been doing that to set up for this round, which is 1 player going behind the smokes, Glaive's faking it out, and then Astralis are about to hit topside. They were hoping off the back of Glaive getting a pick lower that NIP would over-rotate and Astralis would find a timing outdoor. But with Lecro killing Glaive and spotting the fact that Secret's empty, you see NIP instantly peel back and fall into safer positions, knowing Astralis are about to hit top. So good awareness from Lecro, good communication from NIP, and they don't make the mistake of over-rotating, which is exactly what Astralis wanted. But yeah, go back to Hunden, Harry. It's an eco here for Astralis. So what were you saying?
Oh, let's see. Well, I don't want to talk about it just yet, because Magisk has actually made things pretty interesting in this one, right? Getting that 1 kill onto the ramp player and now securing a foothold in the ramp room. This is only pistols for Astralis, but it could still very much get out of hand. Twist has just seen a player trying to cross, and they do actually manage to get by. Magisk now coming in from ramp. Lecro trying to hold the lower bomb site, but he is getting wrapped onto by Magisk on this ramp room flank, so he has to be careful. Lecro ready for it, rises to the occasion, and now just Device left to deal with. He does manage to pick that up. Zipex in a 1v4. So while Astralis made this round look a little bit scary at one point in time, now it's all been dealt with. Lecro, 31 points of health, solidifies that round with 4 for NIP. And the remark I was just going to make about Hunden as a coach is, like, I think the thing that's so desirable about him, especially in terms of what it could mean to grow a scene, is I feel like some coaches will work best where they go into like a team of players who already know the basics, and they can be there to help with things like the anti-strateg, the calls on the fly, right, and providing solutions. And then I think Hunden's quite like a unique character, and it feels like he would be best used instead with the guys who necessarily don't know the basics of playing, like, you know, tier 1 Counter-Strike, to train them in that vein. And, you know, that's essentially what he's been doing his whole career, even playing, right? Like, he has just been the guy creating a lot of the legends that we see today. You know, so many Danish players have ties to Hunden at some point in time, having been on the same team and having been under his wing.
And everyone speaks positively as well, right? It's not just, oh yeah, these guys have all played under this dude, so they're probably learning something. No. People have come out and said many times of how Hunden has helped. So yeah, I mean, it's a topic for another time. Maybe we'll talk about it between the maps, but we'll see where this one goes. NIP, they've certainly come alive in these last few rounds. Astralis were storming through this map, and it's been a bit of a recovery. 4 in a row from the Ninjas. And Astralis, once again, crossing behind these smokes. Plopsky's got to deal with it once more in this B bomb site. He's got a smoke at his feet, though, so Astralis can't cross through that. Plopsky making sure no one's gotten down the vents right. Of course, if Astralis throw utility out the door early, NIP, they can guess, they can spam, they can spray, but they can never know for sure if Astralis have found someone down that lower site early on. So Plopsky now knows it's clear, and he's going to wait for Astralis to meet him. As Molotov comes down, he's got one of his own. That will stall it out, but Astralis do get a player ahead of it. Timing does allow Magisk to get all the way round. He's in a good position. He's going to try and come in from this lower site now as Astralis pressure Plopsky. They know he's here. They've got him pinned in a corner. Off angle for Plopsky. Spray is good, but he only gets 1. Double kill for the T side as Device finds a kill onto Plopsky. Magisk follows up in the lower site, and Zipnix has a player outside occupied as Astralis get this plant in B.
Yeah, 3-man retake, not super optimal. And as the bomb is planted, holding on to some weapons might behoove the Ninjas. Glaive, though, just going to catch that left-right goodnight from Lecro.
They've got Zipnix trapped. They're really trying to deal with him. And they might. And they do. But that is all. That is just a consolidation frag for NIP in response to losing the round. They do go on and do a bit more damage here, and that actually is going to bode well for NIP looking to the future, right? Because they are all fine to invest into this round, and Astralis, the team that just won the round, well, theirs is a little bit more dubious all of a sudden. Magisk is going to drop an AK. Device is going to pick up an AK as well, but for dupreeh and Zipex, they're both kind of relegated down onto these lesser rifles or SMGs. dupreeh actually being very selfless, drops an AK over to Zipex in that one. And a quick tack pause. Astralis know that this is a pretty rough spot to be in, right? Because you might have won that round. You had a chance to keep 3 players alive, although really only a chance to keep 2 alive if you think about where Zipex found himself in that last round. And so the fate of this round can decide how this half pans out. If you pick it up as Astralis, you know, you can keep chugging on, you can keep looking good. But if you lose it, you're back into the doldrums, and suddenly that is an avenue for NIP to get back into this game. They try and explode into this A site. They get down through the vents, not just with 1, but with 2 players down. This B plant can come in very, very fast for Astralis.
Yeah, that's a game plan, but Popsky's looking to put a stop to it, and Lekro's already coming through the Molotov. He is so confident in this half, and he has good reason to be so. Oh, dear. Bomb is lost for Astralis, and the round might follow suit. Device can stop them from going down the vents from this position, but instead he just takes a kill to main. He's looking for frags, he's looking for a highlight reel, and Device, he's got 2. Surely this would be impossible. NIP should set up with a bomb right now in a 3-on-1, considering Device has already started off this 1-on-5 clutch. Yeah, no way they want to give it away.
He's certainly going to be giving a go at it. He's going to make it rough for this NIP side, but they're not going to make it easier for him. They drop a smoke, and that creates bit of a path. Now they know he's out. Lekro's going to get that information. He's also going to get the shot, and that round is done. Device trying to save some face at the end of the round, but ultimately it's the Ninjas with 6, Astralis 7. And now the money is in turmoil. It is destroyed for Astralis.
Harry, as you said, right, the money was the crucial factor here for Astralis. I want to say, how the hell do Astralis get 2 players down vents without a door smoke? They blow the nade into the door, they double flash main, and they drop B with no smoke. Like, that's crazy. There should be mollied. There should be at least shot by NIP if they have someone in main, but Astralis, great pace, and either way, it's a round lost, but they have got pistols now, and they can speed things up. Oh my, Nuke! Huh?
That is ridiculous. Just 180s on the spot, and the highlight reel continues for NIP. Plopsky doubling down. Device will Deagle on from the round. Is Deagle looking to get revved up now as he does some more damage onto Twist.
Nuke has eyes in the back of his head. He's like an owl, you know? He's got 360 degree rotation. I want to see that from his perspective so badly. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Like, he was dead. He was wrapped with a Tech 9. But NIP, they've really recovered this half. Let's have a look. Oh! Roll it back when we run this reel. That is crazy stuff. That is crazy stuff. And yeah, off the back, Harry, of that round, Astralis pick up with 1 alive. NIP follow up by dropping them lower, Lekro killing the bomb planter. And since that point, NIP, they can now go A7. They can now win out this half. Astralis, still an excellent T-side regardless, and they're looking to do a little bit more. Put a number on it, put a pin in it, put a fast A play on the board, but it gets denied. 2 kills immediately from NIP, but don't let your foot off the gas. Astralis is still here. Glaive is behind the silos, behind enemy lines, but he will be made quick work of. An example made by Nuke, and NIP winning out the half. All things considered, it's good for the Swedes, but will it be enough for a 2-0, or does Astralis have more to show? Find out in just a mo.
always told. Stay in line, be alright, better play it safe. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return. Something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Fly so high they can't touch us. So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we on the whole thing. Spread it all around the world, watch it all change. Came alive, now they all see the greatness. Light shine so high they can't take it.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Come alive.
I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I passed the point of no return. Something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again. Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Well, we've got a fight on our hand, a scrum, and we're ready to jump back into it between the Swedes and the Danes, featuring the Ninjas in Pyjamas taking on Astralis. The GG.bet odds up there will tell you that now, somehow, someway, I guess after winning the first map, that NIP are the ones that are favorited to win this series. Now, we're going to keep an eye just because this could be the last map. It all depends on a few different things here from the NIP side. We're going to see them jump into this pistol. I say we, there's Harry Hugo, and of course, all of you out in the audience. Hey, guys.
Hey. Wow, it's a fast play lower for NIP. They try and get down secret. Glaive is waiting in the wings. Came down the vents early on. He's going to actually be joined. Astralis have more than stacked up on this B bomb site with 3 players, but they might want to reconsider. NIP are going back up yard. Glaive is being kept here by Plopsky, but he will eventually leave, and now they go towards the top site. Astralis, no. Oh, bye-bye. Dupree shot in the air. Magisk won't see a thing either, and Twist is doubled down on the site. It's up to those B rotates that seem very far away. Zipnik's with 1. Glaive is coming on the long wrap from out, but at this point, surely it's an NIP round.
Oh yeah, this has all gone right. Everything that you can think of has gone right here for NIP. Glock headshots galore. Twist is going to be the one that you can thank for it. Well, Zipex, surely he had plans to defuse this bomb, but they're going to crunch him here in the lobby. I say that. He plinks Lekro, but that's not going to be enough for him to stick around. He's going to try to get out of dodge, maybe take a few more NIP players with him.
Oof. Wow, like, you know, I'm just kind of shocked because I didn't think this would happen, but NIP are doing it. Like, they're 9-7, a pistol win in the second half, winning the first half out. Yeah, okay, it's a great T-side for Astralis, don't get me wrong, but NIP have now done the building blocks. They can seriously take this series 2-0, which I thought was just never going to happen. Like, even if they were to win it, 3 maps at least, but...
Yeah, at the minimum, and that's what, you know, rational people would think. Now, Harry, on the other hand, which is, you know, hashtag Harry, He has said that Astralis are going to win this hands down, no contest, no questions asked. And we're going to find out if that happens on this round, because it's Nip, sped fast paced, and Lekro is going to be the one leading the charge towards ramp.
Yeah, Harry thinks of his nips, and that's often the best way to go if you want to, get the prediction locked and loaded. Right now, they are in pole position. They are a man up, 9-7 as well. Twist is in the vents, and Astralis, they are rotated B very heavily indeed.
Oh, Plopsky making quick work of these players, as is Twist. Magisk will remove on with the Deagle, and now on to another is Mr. Magisk, but quickly dealt with on the wraparound by Plopsky. Dupree, he was never as invested as the rest of his team were in this retake. He's just been sat in the squeaky door, already committed to the save. So he's looking to hold on to this 5-7 armor and a smoke. Likely not going to have too much impact with it in the following round, but I would love to get proved wrong. If we got some sequence with Dupree popping off with this saved 5-7, that'd be great. If not, I'm not complaining either. 10 rounds on the board for NIP as they reach double digits here on the map pick of Astralis. Now, I think something that's pretty important to bear in mind, as we see this scoreline now go 10-7, there's a very good chance that with no investment in this round, it should read 11-7. And when you think about the fact that Astralis were up 6-1 at one point in time, right? Suddenly, this scoreline from NIP, you see why it's been so dominant and why it feels so crazy that they're in this position. They have really turned this around on like an astronomical level.
Yeah, against the best. So let's see how long they can keep this one up. It's a fast A top site take, and Astralis are not here. They've left it completely open, funnily enough. So NIP quick plant and around 1 at that. Astralis, I mean, they hit the Mac 10s and they make the decision to save. And I actually really like this call. It's obviously, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth, kicking yourself in the teeth, because you could get exits, you could get upgraded guns. And I don't think Astralis know there are 4 Mac 10s in play, but they definitely heard a couple. And instead of giving away $600 a kill, they're just going to look to save nothing. And, obviously Dupree gets away with the armor, that's great. Pistols don't really matter because they've got rifles next round anyway. But for these USP players, it's all about just not dying, avoiding giving money to NIP. And I like that call for Astralis. They have no one inside the A site. They won't even give this one a think. And so 10, now made 11 for the Ninjas. Oh, Dupree, yeah, quick reaction. That was partly on the backside, and he was close. Could have definitely gone down, but not a worry. Astralis, they've been saving and saving and saving, and finally they get to buy.
Yeah, that's going to be really telling, considering that Ninjas Pyjamas have put themselves up to double digits first, and then +1 on that. So if they can continue that, then they're going to be sitting pretty. And it looks like they're going to go with 4 Mac 10s here, plus an AK on knock. So let's see how this one pans out, Cotton.
Yeah, 4 Mac 10s is a lot of fun, but Astralis have their head armor. They are not going to be falling for this one. So let's see how this bonus goes for NIP, because I think one of the dangers of running bonus rounds against a team like Astralis is sometimes, all they need is a round, and that can just change everything for these guys. So can really get your head back in a matchup when you're not necessarily in a great position. And
yeah.
well, NIP aren't really, banking on winning this round necessarily.
Oh, the thing that's really important for NIP is at the very, very least, they want to find some damage onto Astralis in this round, right? You want to strip some of these guns out the hands of the Danes, because once they get that ball rolling on the CT side, it's very, very tricky to stop them. And the one thing NIP can look to take advantage of, right, is just this CT economy. And if you just keep battering Astralis on their CT side and never let them get that established, then you have a very good chance to run away with this game if you can keep the momentum up, right? But that's a big if. And rounds like this can sometimes just serve to pad out your opposition's economy. And in that instance, it almost doesn't feel worth it, right? But that is the nature of these rounds. They are a bit of a gamble when you attempt them. NIP, they get down over here towards the B site. They break the window. They're going to try and flood into Zipex, and that Molotov will make the tag noise. They know he's here, but their attention is caught between Glaive, Dupree, and Zipex, having to keep an eye on 3 different positions at once. Now, they win out 2 of those gunfights to leave this in a 2-on-3. Device could get caught here moving in, and Nuke puts him down. Magisk out through the decon door, not even required to get a kill because Glaive has mopped them both up. But most importantly, as we were saying, for NIP, they get the bomb down. 2 players surviving for Astralis is kind of perfect, right where NIP wanted to keep this. Because now you force 3 sets of rebuys. Even with that AWP carried forward, this is going to be very, very expensive for Astralis. And NIP, they're not in any monetary problem. They've got so much cash, they don't have to worry about it.
This is a good shot right here from Device. Takes Plopsky out of the round early on. Albeit, commiserations, good job there to nip in the round, getting the bomb down. They did have the MAC-10s. They made it even a competitive round with that. So let's find out how this one continues to play out. Rez on 3 and 9, and that does hurt my soul a little bit.
Yeah, the fact that NIP are still 11-8 up with a player 3 and 9 is kind of hilarious, right? It just shows, you know, the system's working. You're not relying on, you know, necessarily everyone. You're getting the job done as a team. Plopsky, oh god, he's trying to climb above, trying to stop this AWP that's pushed up outside. And he will find both. Glaive gone as well. Device dropped behind Red. Astralis thought they were safe. They didn't know there was a man creeping through the outside position, and he's done more than creep. He has sprinted down towards his B-bomb site.
Yeah, Plopsky does a very good job of just showing initiative in that engagement there, right? He spots the AWP pushed up outside, and he tries to catch a timing getting up on top of the red box, and he delivers in a very big way, continuing to put up this tirade down towards the B-bomb site. And at the very, very least, this is surely going to force Astralis to adjust their setup over here at the top side of the map. Now, NIP, they haven't got this bomb across yet. And on the back of spotting Zipex here, they might just look to try and get down through Secret. They don't anticipate Magisk here as well, though. These 2 players that are up towards the top site, very, very far apart from one another. They are isolated. Rez is just left out on a limb with this bomb on his back. Zipex catches Lekro over in A. Plopsky gets dropped down at the B site, and this round has fallen apart. NIP, their hesitancy in moving down in towards B has cost them dearly. And that one moment where they tried to take a pause to figure out how they wanted to approach this round in a 4-on-2 has cost them everything.
Yeah, they got tore up right there. Now, we talked about Rez, you know, in a need and necessity to step up here for the NIP side now on 13 HP. And they are stacked up here in this upper side. He's going to have his work cut out for him, albeit very possible. He's going to drop the Molotov towards Magisk. But the crossfire is going to come out on top. And unfortunately for him, Magisk was on full HP, Zip on 8. The big round for Astralis, they needed that one.
Yeah, especially Zipnix, right? He walks outside in front of a player behind the red box and gets down towards Secret, even killing Plopsky, who got here earlier. Plopsky finds an epic 3-piece with excellent shots. And yeah, like I said, Harry, the bomb just not crossing. You know, NIP, the hindsight there is if they just went back to lobby and grouped ramp or grouped top or grouped anywhere, they would have won. But the sad reality is, Astralis didn't let them. They kept that bomb pressured and trapped outside. And that's Astralis back on with a 2nd in a row. The bonus round obviously went their way, but NIP with guns, well, they haven't broken the curse just yet.
Yeah, and Astralis looked to put some sort of taming down on the side of NIP when they played outside last round. They tried to play 2 somewhat close, one at red and one kind of wavering on and off from the mini garage. And it worked itself out.
Ooh. This Device finding man advantage here onto Plopsky. Once again, trying to run the gauntlet outside. Nuke has found a timing. And he's found a kill as well behind it. Glaive is gone. Magisk is left on the A site with Twist trying to find a fight. Might just indeed do that. Oh, Magisk very wide. That's a very important kill as it stopped NIP from taking A. If that kill came through, they could have double pushed Mini, and they still might with Rez getting a frag outside. Nuke takes a bit of a beating from Device, but he will still stand tall in this round. A 2-on-3 with a player coming from heaven and a player coming from lower. Astralis are trying to trap NIP in the outside area once again.
Yeah, critical bit of information for Glaive is that he spots both players, and so that frees up Dupree at the B-bomb site to come in on this flank. Before that, he was just holding his position. He couldn't really move because they didn't know where both these players resided. Astralis, a 10th on the board. They reached double digits here on the CT side. NIP, it's a bit of a worrisome time because they're getting this outside control. You know, they're winning these fights here a decent amount, but they're just not actually able to do anything once they get the outside control. And I think that's just largely, I mean, that round there, it's a bit unfortunate because Device deals with Nuke through the smoke. Like, he doesn't even get a chance to play that round out. And a similar thing happened to Plopsky in the early stages from Glaive. So it's like 2 smoke kills in that round there kind of make everything fall apart for NIP. but it wouldn't surprise me if we see them continuing to take a foothold outside, but maybe with less of an emphasis here on it kind of being the thing to make or break the round. It's the lack of lobby control, it's the lack of any info anywhere else on the map that's been hurting NIP. And so they might look to remedy that by just maintaining more of a default in the lobby moving into this first buy round. Now, these pistols get torn apart. Plopsky, he's got the B site, but he's got nothing else. Doesn't even have a team left. He's all alone.
That he is. Barring a miracle, this one is Astralis. We see a tie game. There it is. Zip with the final kill in the round, 11-11. And albeit just a bunch of pistols there for Nip, but now we're going to see some weapons come back out. Twist with enough to pick up an AWP. But does he need it on this side?
And remember back 4 rounds ago where Nip went for that quad Mac 10 bonus round, I was thinking, like, you know, you give a round to Astralis and suddenly they just come alive. And NIP, they may have gone 3-0 up in the half, but since that Mac 10 round, Astralis have not dropped the ball. Obviously, you know, who's to say that Astralis wouldn't have done this regardless of what was fielded in that round? But all I'm saying is it certainly doesn't help. Astralis, very, very good CT side here. This is a crucial swing round, though. This is going to decide the next few when it comes to economy, especially for NIP, who are close to eco. Astralis have a little bit more to work with, but they're still not safe yet. Twist is being boosted and crawling outside, trying to find this AWP in the garage. It's actually watching Silo right now. It's Glaive, not Device anyway, so Device is sat in heaven with the AWP, or hell.
Wall of smoke's going back down outside for Nip. It's going to cause Device to reposition himself, but he doesn't have a shot. They haven't left him any gaps, haven't left him any one-ways. They are going to have a problem if they try to curve back into mini, because Glaive just hanging around these smokes, getting real grimy with it.
Device picked a player off the top of the red, but Glaive has found a gap, and they re-smoke it, but he pushes into the credit card. He is ready to fight as soon as he's fade, and oh, he's playing off audio as well. Nice shot, bomb dropped to the feet of Glaive, and Astralis all over this round. The A site may have been lost, but the bomb still hasn't been picked back up.
Yeah, and Zipex is holding here. Plopsky just out of reach of it. He's going to take this fight toe-to-toe with Zip. It's not going to go his way. Meanwhile, it's knocked. Keep this one numbers advantage on the side of Nip. Now they need to retrieve this bomb. They're going to give him the 2 1v1s, and it's only going to be one that Zip wins. Now Nip needed that round big time, but look what it's done to the money.
It has left him in a really bad spot, right? This same thing happened to Astralis back in their T-half. However, the kind of silver lining for NIP is that Astralis were never in a great spot either. And so at the very, very least, their buy is going to come with some limitations of its own. You'll note that Magisk is relegated down to just a pistol in this round. Now, plenty of utility on the rest of the gang for the most part. Obviously, barring Device from that, he's gone for the AWP buy. And so that might force Device to play a bit more aggressively in this round here, you know, try and accomplish something with this heavy investment to start the round. He's going to hold over here towards the outside of the map. Now, NIP, once again, trying to grab this outside control, and they've been very good at taking it away from Astralis. Device has to land the flick. He needed that, and he will get traded by Plopsky on the repeat. Dupree besting Lekro in main. A position that NIP have looked to exploit a hell of a lot, and finally Dupree holds his own, but Plopsky going through that smoke, finds himself a second kill in this round now, and starts to look in towards the A side of the map. Astralis going to respond with a lobby push.
Oh, man.
And this is another one of these rounds where it's gotten weird again, all because NIP don't have a man over in lobby. The nearest player to it is Rez, just waiting here, but he's not even taking into account that a player could have gotten up on top of T-Roof. And this is a real vulnerability to the guys outside who are very much relying on Rez, keeping this back line under lock and key. Now, Dupree hasn't seen anyone yet. There's a timing where he spots Plopsky, and he does. Now that he's been removed, they go back, but they might not be ready for Rez. If you're looking for silver linings, it might be that, but Dupree lands the shot. Nuke, 1v3 required. NIP might have to go back to the drawing board if this one does not go their way. And Nuke has got to deliver a hell of a lot. But this has been a man who's been used to being in these kind of situations for NIP. Can he muster up the courage to win out this 1v3? Up against a terrifying-looking Astralis squad. There's the first kill. Magis gets deleted. Nuke Going to reposition at the CT vent. Dupree on just 2 points of health has to wait for Zipex to get into position. They're going to try and double peek this because they know that Nuke is here. They haven't seen him move anywhere else. Dupree makes the noise and that pulls Nuke's attention away. The defuse comes in and Astralis tie it up at 12-12.
Oh,
I mean, you said it yourself, right? Lobby obviously being a problem there for NIP, but the reason Rez is holding that passively is because he has 4 kills, Harry. 4 and 14 right now. And I understand that, right? You're having a rough game. You're not hitting your shots. You don't want to play, you know, in a position where you could be pushed and just lose a fight. So he plays passive. That does, of course, Dupree get out. And that wins the round, really, because Dupree doubles it and kills Rez as well. The timing does not get worse there.
Yeah, I think Dupree had some sort of inkling that perhaps somebody from NIP was lingering around back there, and he was right. It was Rez, and, well, as the story is told, that flank, they're going to be tasting that one. NIP call a timeout, discuss this one over now that, well, the money is not there yet again. I'm going for a force here.
I'm hoping that with Dupree going on a flank like that into the back line, that will force NIP to have to watch the lobby, right? Because this has happened too many times now for you to discount that position. And if they keep on ignoring it, then Astralis is just going to keep on taking it, right? You can't give Astralis anything to work with because they will use it against you to its fullest effect. And so hopefully that round there has really taught NIP to keep a leash on this lobby control. At the very least as well, just to leave their options open, because as we've seen, they get outside control, but it's usually a pretty heavy cost, right? They'll fall into a 3-on-3, and then they get caught kind of, you know, with... It's like, right, think like a map like Dust 2, right? If you trade evenly and you're in a 3-on-3, the area that you kind of don't want to find yourself hanging out in would be like mid. You want to start to group up. You want to start to make a play at that point in time. And the same is true for outside on Nuke. And with leaving lobby open, Astralis, they can take your map control off of you and then just hold that and wait for this bomb to actually make its appearance at a bomb site.
Yeah, the further point to that, to add on, is right, you know, Astralis, NIP, 2 players outside, you know, they could walk top if they had a guy in Squeaky just to split with them, and they could go main, they could go heaven. Like, you can split faster, but they were just taking so long in the yard. Either way, it's back to a B play through the ramp room. Xyp9x is holding his own. He's done a lot of damage, and he's got Glaive with a shotgun supporting. He won't let them swing on his teammate. Glaive has dropped him, and Dupree on the back line found the bomb as well. NIP are down to 2, and it's surely a 13th here for Astralis. We need heroics, and even then, maybe some more on top of it.
Yeah, with 5 alive, just Plopsky and Twist, and not a damn thing they can do about it either.
Oh. Oh, okay. Couple of kills. Let's not count them out here completely, but 20 seconds is the biggest factor as the bomb is left ramp side. Xyp9x is just hiding, and so is his teammate on ramp. So good luck getting into this site if you're NIP. They will not get much further than the entrance. 13 rounds for Astralis, and they have just not given NIP the room on this CT side.
Now, let's say Astralis win this map. We do know that the first map was won by NIP, and as you can tell on the top right, we're going to Inferno to side it. You know, we're just 3 rounds away from that over here on the side of Astralis, so something to consider. Keep in the back of your pocket, or your mind, wherever you keep things.
Wow, moment of truth. NIP looking for a plant in this one. They're looking for damage, not the win.
Plopsky got some.
Smokes.
Yeah, and you know, I think this is also an acceptable way for them to work around with this outside control that they've been able to get, is you actually do just cross into secret and try and make something happen down towards B. Now, they leave Rez and Plopsky out in the yard to continue milling around and just trying to keep the eyes fixated here. But Dupree is already down at B, and he spots 3 with that jump up there. Rez gets shut down over towards outside, and Dupree now knows he has to lock down this B side of the map. That's why Xyp9x comes rotating in to give him a helping hand if required. Plopsky does beat Glaive. And now a 4-on-4. Xyp9x having to go back up through the ramp. Astralis, they realize that this whole B play has slowed right down. That bomb is still in secret, so it can still go down towards the B side of the map. Not going to start to show his head over here towards outside, and the bomb is in tow. This is a risky maneuver from NIP, trying to cross the yard when there's rifles trained in, and with the bomb no less. Lecro, yeah, he's had to run down through secret, and It's just a real ugly round from NIP, right? Like everything they tried there was spotted and dealt with, and Magisk is just farming money with this XM.
Give him another $900, Lekro. Go on.
He's gonna get it.
Yeah, there it is.
Wow.
Money, money, money.
Big money.
Yeah, and that will do for Magisk. He will take it every day of the week. 2,700 in the bank, and he's going to keep going for it as well. Why not? He's been pushing the hut in times, and we know Astralis have been like in the lobby. 14 rounds here on Astralis' map pick. It looked like it was going to slip through their fingers, but right on the CT side, they really find their footing.
Yeah, and it's kind of an awkward one because this is where, like, for NIP, you can kind of feel that maybe they're not overcomplicating it, but like doubting themselves and the call from the offset, and then everything gets thrown into like these moments of kind of indecisiveness and chaos where suddenly you're trying to piece together how to best counter a very dominant looking Astralis. Now Nuke has traded all of these kills out, or at least tried his best to outside. He still leaves Astralis with a man advantage, and it gets even sweeter thanks to Zipex. There's Device mowing down the final two, and it's map point for Astralis, one away from locking in Inferno.
And yeah, that's a sick way to get a 15th round right. Astralis have been playing this annoying, rotatey, passive, not overcommitting CT side, where they just give NIP all this room. That round, they rush lobby. Magisk is jiggling with a shotgun and hut. Zipnix comes in from ramp and he kills Lekro. NIP, they're trying to push outside. They play the smokes, and Astralis rush red. Like, they just get in their face and show off their individual prowess. And that's a round that NIP haven't had to deal with all game long, but Astralis just pull it out of nowhere. And it's because they're finally feeling confident, they're feeling ready, and they're reaping the rewards. Glaive somehow gets out, but not for long. He's not going to get given a second chance. So he should have taken main as an exit point while he could. Dupree, once again, oh, look where he is. He's cleared the lobby. Not really a surprise at this point. It's basically Astralis' home territory. As he climbs up on this silo flank, we're going to be seeing him coming in from the back line and look to enact even more damage.
Well, let's see. He's going to go ahead and get a head count while he's doing it. Rez turns around and probably just as shocked as Dupree was that he spun around.
Bomb's there as well. Has he seen it? I think he has. He's got the package at his feet. And he knows they need to come back this way, so it doesn't really matter how much control NIP have in this round. Cool, NIP are in heaven, that's good. Also, NIP can't do anything with that position, because as long as Astralis stay alive, they've got this bomb at their feet. Dupree is still hunting. He's just death matching. And NIP, they might need to move to Inferno, because right now, they are cold on Nuke. Lekro's gone, and it's 16 rounds to Astralis. A huge comeback from the Danes. They are going to bring us to a third and final match.